That makes him formal and functional. What I'm saying is this
formal and
unbuttoned look
functional,
is
Ben.
formal and functional. There's nothing wrong with wearing a tie. Do you know what it'll take? In 5 seconds, he could whip that tie off, unbutton 3 buttons, and he goes from boardroom to bar in 5 seconds.
Don't do it.
Do it, Ben. Do it, Ben. Do it.
Phil, I don't know what you've started here, but I'm worried, okay? Phil, it's been so lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Celebrity stylist Phil Tarling, thank you for joining us on The World today. Have no fear, Ben's tie is intact and he's here in a few minutes with The Context on BBC News. Stay with us.
Hello there, I'm Ben Brown and this is The Context here on BBC News. As Donald Trump prepares to meet Vladimir Putin in Anchorage later this week, President Zelensky warns that Ukraine will not withdraw from the Donbass region. American contract killer Amy Betrow has been found guilty of attempting to shoot a man dead in the United Kingdom. New figures show that more than 50,000 migrants crossed the English Channel in small boats since Labour came to power. Temperatures soar, causing wildfires in Europe and heat warnings in the UK. We start in Ukraine, where Russian troops have made sudden gains of land in an attack that may be designed to increase its bargaining power ahead of the summit on Friday between President Putin and Donald Trump. Russia's seized several kilometres of land near the mining town of Dobropilya, close to Petrovsk in the Donetsk region, taking Ukrainian forces there by surprise. OK, Helen, thank you very much indeed. Helen Catt, our political correspondent. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. Now, an extraordinary story about a woman who had been paid to murder a shop owner in Birmingham here in the UK after flying to Britain from the United States. The would-be assassin, Amy Betrow, and you're watching BBC News. Hello again, welcome to the programme. You're watching The Context on BBC News with me, Ben Brown. And coming up very shortly on the programme, Taylor Swift announces the release of her 12th album. The singer made the announcement after appearing on her boyfriend Travis Kelce's podcast. Just a line of news coming into us about that summit on Friday in Alaska between President Trump and President Putin of Russia. We're just hearing that those two countries' foreign ministers, so the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, very colourful metaphor. Thank you very much indeed, Professor Mary Lovely, US trade and tariffs expert. Thank you for being with us on BBC News and around the world.
You're most welcome.
And across the UK. This is BBC News. Do stay tuned. Hello again. Now, after an intense 24 hours of speculation from fans, Taylor Swift has announced her 12th studio album. The singer made the announcement during an appearance on her boyfriend Travis Kelce's New Heights podcast. Well, that's great advice. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show if you get to see it. Dr. Megan Argo, thank you very much for being with us on BBC News.
welcome to the Context USA with me, Lucy Hockings, in Washington.
And me, Ben Brown, here in London. And tonight we are focusing on the reaction to President Trump saying he is deploying the National Guard to Washington, D.C.
Homeless individuals will be given the option to leave their encampment, to be taken to a homeless shelter, to be offered addiction or mental health services, and if they refuse, they will be susceptible to fines or to jail time. Again, these are pre-existing laws that are already on the books. They have not been enforced, which is part of the reason for this federalizing of the National Guard.
Well, with us to discuss this controversial story and all the other big stories of the day, we have our panel of political strategists, Democrat Amanda Renteria and Republican Ashley Davis.
Hello and welcome to the Context USA. We're going to spend the next hour discussing the main issues involving the Trump administration. And today, as Ben was saying, we're going to be looking at the fallout from that news that the president is to deploy the National Guard right here in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, as well as that, we're going to be also looking at those new inflation figures that are just out and see exactly what they mean for the US economy. Plus, we're going to be looking ahead to that crucial summit in Alaska on Friday between President Donald Trump and Russia's Vladimir Putin on Ukraine.
Dana, thank you so much for your insights and for joining us. Good luck over the coming days at Miriam's Kitchen.
Thank you.
Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. Hello again. Well, as we've just been discussing, President Donald Trump's plan to deploy the National Guard in Washington, D.C. has been met with very differing reactions. Last night, protesters concerned about the plan gathered outside the White House chanting, "Hands off D.C."
Yeah, President Trump also seizing control of the D.C. Municipal Police Department, invoking an obscure section of the 1973 D.C. Home Rule Act. That's something that allows the president to take control of local law enforcement in the district for a period of 1 month. Crucially, though, only in times of emergency.
No.
OK, Amanda and Ashley, thank you very much indeed. Do stay with us. We're going to be discussing everything from inflation to Taylor Swift's new album. Stay with us here on BBC News. Hello again and welcome back to the Context USA with me, Ben Brown, here in London.
And me, Lucy Hockings, here in Washington, D.C. US inflation holds steady in July despite import tariffs, and that's bolstering bets that the Federal Reserve may cut interest rates next month.
Well, shares on Wall Street have been rising as investors take solace in slightly better than expected inflation figures for the month of July. There's also some positivity.
Amanda, Ashley, do stay with us. Great to have you with us on the panel this evening. Lots more to talk about, including that big meeting taking place on Friday between Presidents Putin and Trump in Alaska. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. Welcome back. The White House is saying that Friday's summit with Vladimir Putin will be a listening exercise for President Trump, the US president, meeting the Russian leader in Alaska to discuss bringing an end to the war in Ukraine.
Awful, but it's a big deal with 16-year-olds.
I'm with you. Amanda and Ashley, thank you both so much. Music can bring us all together, as always, around kitchen tables right across the world. I'm going to say goodbye to you now as I prepare for World News America, coming up next for global viewers.
And our panel, Ashley and Amanda, will be staying with us for UK audiences, and we'll be back in just a moment for much more on the Context USA.
Bye-bye.
So this is the time on The Context USA where our panellists talk about something that they're interested in, they want to bring to our attention. And today we're talking to Democrat Amanda Renteria and Republican Ashley Davis. We're going to start with you, Amanda. What have you got for us? All right, well, really good to have you both with us, discussing everything from that summit in Alaska to trade tariffs to Taylor Swift. It's been a fantastic, fantastic to have you both with us. Amanda Renteria and Ashley Davis, many thanks to you for being with us, and thank you for watching the programme. This has been The Context USA. Goodbye.
Hello there. Today has been a hotter day than yesterday.